MPL fans, and welcome to another coach interview. I'm your host, a Season 2 analyst, wBulkyCottonCandy, and alongside me I have the coach of the Viridian Beedrills, Dench B.
What is up?
So, Dench, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your age, what got you into Pokemon, and, what got you into competitive battling?
Alright, well, I'm 19. I live in Britland, as people like to call it. And what got me into Pokemon, I don't know. Ever since a young age, I've always played Pokemon. But I think competitively, it's probably in May, which isn't actually... That's pretty recent, you know. That's like a few months, maybe.
Yeah.
But I don't know. When I played Pokemon, I played it for the fun. And then, obviously, you know, you have these big channels like Shady, Nappy, etc. And I just saw one day and thought, I didn't know there was like a competitive side, really. So, decided to give it a go.
Alright. But anyways, we're not here to really talk about history. We're here to talk about your draft.
My draft.
So, your draft was Mew, Talonflame, Megalophony, Thunderous Incarnate, Terrakion, Uxie, Klefki, Reuniclus, Golbat. You're dropping Politoed for Gardevoir, and then Kingdra.
Yes.
So, why don't you walk us through your thought process of drafting Mew, Talonflame, and Megalophony, and in that order, and what you thought, why you thought it was best to draft those mons in the order you did.
Okay, so originally, before we start with anything on the draft, my original first round pick was pick 4, I think. But I traded my trip. I traded my pick with Trip for his round 2 pick. So I got bumped up from 12th to 2nd in round 2. So in my opinion, it was worth it. But anyway, I got Mew mainly because it's kind of a given. You know, it does everything. It does anything. So I mean, base hundreds across the board. It's just mono psychic type. So I mean, it does carry like 3 weaknesses.
Yeah, but the diversity in coverage it gets.
It's just TMs. You can choice band it, you can choice specs it, you can scarf it, you can lefty set. It can just be anything I want it to be, really, which is a pretty powerful thing to have in a league format. And then Talonflame. I must admit, after the first round pick, I didn't have like a solid idea of what I wanted. I was just kind of winging it, no pun intended. But I ended up getting Talonflame. Shout out to Trip because he actually he kind of told me to get it. I didn't get it because he told me to get it, but I kind of thought about it, and it's one of those Pokemon that does really well. Obviously, it's not got a great move pool or typing because it gets 50% damage to Stealth Rocks.
Yeah.
But it's one of those Pokemon it's kind of scary. It's kind of, you can, especially defensive or just straight up offensive. Can be absolutely anything you want it to be. And then Megalophony. Now I got this because I just wanted. I mean, obviously it takes up the Mega Evolution slot, but it hits anything, because it gets the Scrappy ability. It's fast. It's got a massive attack stat. And I can just hit anything I want. Obviously, the one thing I'm going to be looking out for on all my opponents is that sneaky protect or whatnot for that high jump kick. Trying to get that 50% damage on Lopunny. But, yeah, I'm coming prepared.
And then you have Thunderous Incarnate, Terrakion, and Uxie. And... I honestly think that Thunderous Incarnate is probably one of the top 5 mons in the format.
Yes.
Along with Mew, but Mew's a given.
Yeah. Well, the main reason I got Thunderous is because I wanted a Prankster user. That's the main reason you get Thunderous. Obviously, it's got Defiant, but most people look at the Prankster ability. And the one good thing as well is I think it only has 2 weaknesses, I believe, because obviously the ground weakness is taken away because it's flying type.
Ice and rock.
Yeah. And also, there was a lot of talk about weather. Obviously, with Slacks kind of building up his what looks like a sand team, and then other people kind of wanting weathers like Bizer and Trip. I don't think I play either of them, so it doesn't really matter. But they have, well, actually no, Trip has the Mega Char Y, so that brings out the sunny day. So yeah, so it's prankster weather if we need it.
And then Terrakion Uxie.
Oh yeah, Terrakion. Terrakion, it was one of those Pokemon you kind of forget about because it's in the borderlines. He's one of those Pokemon that, because you're looking down the OU list, kind of when the draft starts, unless you've already got it like planned out. But you've got all these BL Pokemon like Volcarona and is Mega Pidgeot in BL? I think it is. All these
I'm not
just
sure.
I think it got moved up from UU. But you got all these Pokemon from BL, so I kind of in my head was like, I'm gonna check out BL because a lot of BL Pokemon hadn't been taken. So I went in and I saw Terrakion, and Terrakion is just a mammoth, very hard hitting. It's a very good stall breaker if I need it to be. Can counter certain things. Can set up hazards. You can choice band it. Can do anything you want with it. My only problem with Terrakion is it does carry a lot of weaknesses because of its rock fighting type.
I was noticing your team has a lot of really good, like, hard-hitting Mons and Mons that have a lot of diversity, but they do have a notable amount of weaknesses, to say the least.
Yeah. I mean, that's another thing that I've got to kind of prep for, which is fine because I mean, that's what League's about, preparation. There we go.
And now, moving on to
we need to talk about
Mew 3, Uxie, Mew 3.
My moving on to the psychic types that I I don't even know what was at the end. I think it was like 4 or 3. But Uxie, it wasn't a Pokemon I planned on drafting because in the 6th round I actually planned on drafting Breloom. But the Detroit Lipards, or the coach, Cypher, he picked it up, and I really wanted Breloom. So I kind of just, like, as he did it, I sent him a message, and I was like, can we make a trade? Obviously, trades don't take place till, like, week 3, week 4, but he did decide he wanted to do it if I got Uxie, and no one did. So that's my reason for getting Uxie. But if I'm going to look at, because I'm probably going to have to use it, I can't just kind of leave it there. It's a very good... like wall, because it's got like, I don't know what its defense and special defense are off the top of my head, but I know they're pretty good. Pretty damn good.
And then you've got Klefki, Reuniclus, and Golbat.
Well, Klefki was, well, obviously, looking at my team, I needed a fairy type, and I kind of needed a steel type as well. So, Klefki was one of those, it was a pretty late pick, we're on round 7, and looking at it, it's surprising because it's round 7, and Klefki is an OU mon, and it didn't go. So, it kind of surprised me it was still around. I did get a few offers off other coaches, saying they wanted to make a trade. But honestly, I can't let Klefki go. Fairy Steel, it's immune to
poison.
It's immune to poison, so it takes away the fairy weakness. It can set up certain weathers, It's got the fire weakness, but obviously it can set up like a rainy day. It can take away the fire. Well, it doesn't take away the fire weakness, but it means fire
by like 90%.
Yeah. Still a good chunk. But it also gets, screens and whatnot, and screens will come in, it'll come in handy for those teams that aren't prepared or not necessarily have a bad draft, but their draft is more on the physical side or special side.
Yeah.
Because then, I can bring a certain
Prankster, light
thing.
play, new meta.
Yeah. Moving on, who are we on? Reuniclus. Okay.
Reuniclus.
Reuniclus was one of those Pokemon. I knew I would draft it from the beginning. Well, I didn't know, obviously, but it was one of those Pokemon I wanted to draft. It was obviously I didn't know when, but after Klefki, a lot of Pokemon. It was like kind of like the gateway. A lot of Pokemon kind of started getting picked up, and I could have left Reuniclus later, but I really just didn't want to run the risk, of someone picking it up.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, Reuniclus is an absolute gem because it's a UU Pokemon, and all three of its abilities are competitively viable. It gets Overcoat, gets Magic Guard, and Regenerator as well. So, great pick, in my opinion.
And then Golbat.
Golbat. I have some misgivings about Golbat, mainly because I think after Reuniclus, I really didn't know what I wanted. Literally after the round 8, I don't know when my pick was, round 9, but after this, I was really unsure. I was almost going to get Hitmontop, but the reason I got Golbat was because I needed a poison type. Infiltrator is also nice to have, if you're facing subs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's another defog user other than Mew. So I mean, poison flying like Thundurus takes away the what do you call it? Ground weakness. Yeah. I mean, one thing I'm gonna have to be wary of. I mean, this whole team kind of I have to be wary of is knockoff users. It's like a major threat no matter what I bring. But I mean, you could say that for any kind of anyone in the league would say knockoff is a threat because you don't want your items to be knocked off. But yeah, so obviously I know that's a threat, but I think Golbat was just overall a good pick. I was gonna pick up Crobat, but I think Eep already scooped it up. So.
And then you picked up you were dropping your next pick for Gardevoir, but your pick was Politoed. So why'd you pick Politoed?
Okay, so looking at my team, obviously we got 3 psychic types, fire type, electric type, etc., etc. But one thing I was missing from this
Wasn't water
was water typing, and obviously we're on round 10. Well, round 10 is when I picked Politoed. So a lot of good Pokemon were kind of already gone by this point. So the reason I got Politoed is because mainly for the drizzle, and because obviously if you slap drizzle on there, all his water moves whenever he comes in will have a boosted power. But I actually, after the draft, ended up trading it off for Gardevoir, and like I said in my analysis video, I didn't get hate for it, but a lot of people question it, which I understand. It's not. I mean, if people weren't like in my head like I was, obviously, you'd know why. And I'm not gonna give anything away, but there are reasons. Because one of the major reasons I can say is because Klefki, yes, I have a fairy type, but it's not a strong fairy type. It's, it gets play rough, fair enough.
Yeah.
Rhymes. But
bars. You gonna start spitting hot fire over here?
I might. But yeah, I need a more powerful attacking fairy type in my opinion. So that's one of the reasons, and it's amongst others, but I want to keep them to me.
Yeah. Dench and I were actually hashtag fourth wall broken. Dench and I were actually talking before this, and I was like, "You're dropping Politoed. Why?" And he says, "Because I'm picking up Gardevoir." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
That's another interesting thing, though. Gardevoir wasn't taken at all when the draft ended.
Yeah, that is really interesting. There's a lot of mons that weren't taken. Like, there was one earlier I was surprised wasn't taken. Weezing, a physical wall.
Yeah,
like a massive physical wall. I'm like, no one took Weezing? I mean, that's base 125 defense, and it's only got one weakness.
Well, there's a lot of picks
Does
that
it
just
only
kind
have
of.
one weakness? Yeah,
I think it's mainly. I
psychic.
think it's mainly because a lot of people before the draft actually happened, they had an idea. They'd like already planned out what they were drafting.
Wheezing.
Wheezing.
Everyone
That's a good one.
underestimates Wheezing.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Weezing's a good Pokemon.
we're not here to talk about Wheezing. Let's move on. Your last pick, which I'm surprised this thing was still around, Kingdra.
Yes.
And are you quick ban?
Now, okay. So Kingdra, obviously, I picked Kingdra straight after Politoed, and by the the logic of that is obviously Swift Swim. It's not the only reason I picked it. I wanted to pick another water type because just having one water type can prove pretty dangerous because then you can be predictable. But I mean, I say that, but I'm dropping Politoed,
Yeah.
so that doesn't make too much sense. But the reason I got Kingdra is because I needed a dragon type. Looking at my team, I have no dragon types.
Yeah, type coverage.
And I was kind of in the mindset that dragon is bad because it gets bodied by fairy. But looking at some teams that don't have fairy type, I'm not going to name any one rather. But if you don't have that fairy type, dragon is terrifying, especially Kingdra. It gets Life Orb, Dragon Dance, Swift Swim, amongst other stuff.
I mean, I won't say Slacks' name out loud, but
yeah. But yeah. So I mean, obviously,
say Cypher's name out loud.
but dropping Politoed obviously makes people question it because I picked up Gardevoir, and people are like, well, you're taking away something that Kingdra kind of works well with, that being the rain.
Won't say Riz's name out loud.
Just not
I'm
saying
sorry, I'm
anyone's
still stuck
names.
on that.
Oh god. But yeah. So I was kind of wobbly at the end of this draft, but I think I did well overall. Really well.
Alright, well, I have two questions for you. The first being, who do you think, out of everyone you play, poses the biggest threat to you, and why?
I would probably have to say Ipa. The main reason for that is there are more terrifying teams like, is it the Red Division? I could be wrong. No, I'm in the Red Division. The Green Division, rather, because, I mean, I don't play Chris or Geordie, or actually, I played Geordie once and I played Jack once, but they're teams that I only play once. Ipa I play twice. He's in my division, and his team is just scary. He doesn't. His Pokemon don't really go under the UU marker. You've got Mega Sableye, OU, Victini, BL, Mamoswine, UU, Vaporeon, UU, Crobat, UU. So you see his whole draft doesn't go under UU, which is pretty terrifying in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a really, really scary draft. In my opinion, it doesn't synergize as well as others, but
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the thing about
right,
Ipa though.
He go below UU.
Ipa makes anything work.
Because isn't
That's
Diggersby isn't UU?
Diggersby's BL.
Oh really?
Yeah,
You learn
these
something
last
new
two
every
picks,
day.
Diggersby and Crawdon, were the only BL. No, they weren't the only, but they
I
were.
thought Dragalge was RU.
Oh, is Dragalge RU? Oh, I could be wrong about that.
Was RU.
I always see it as UU. I see it in UU quite a lot, but it could be.
No, actually, now that I think about it, I think you're right.
Let me look. Dragalge is UU. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So a massive UU and plus team, terrifying. The fact he's got Mega Sableye just makes things worse.
Yeah.
The
That
magic bounce.
Anyways, the last question: if you could take one Mon from anyone's team to either help another team because you feel sorry for them, or hinder a team because you're scared out of your pants by them, what mon would you take and why?
Okay. That's a good question. I don't know really. I mean, I'd I'd probably give Jody something better. I mean, Jody is a good battler, but in my opinion, his draft is terrible. Obviously, you know, this is my first league, but I'll probably take out Flygon and give him something else. So another dragon type that's not bad. Because
Really? You think Flygon's bad?
Flygon is terrible.
Really? Why do you think
I
that?
think Flygon is terrible. Let's be honest. Flygon gets obviously the times 4 to ice. I mean,
So
granted
is
it gets
Garchomp.
yeah, but Garchomp's fast. Like it outspeeds like obviously Flygon only has base 100 speed and
Only base
100.
100?
Yeah, but that's
like 75% of its own meta.
fair enough, but you just have to bring Hidden Power Ice and it's dead. That's what I'm saying. I mean, obviously, all right, fair enough. Flygon probably wasn't the best thing to pick, but obviously, you know, I don't know. Everyone, it's hard to say that kind of
There's
thing.
this thing
That
called
question.
a choice scarf. And by the
But
way,
everyone's
Flygon
draft.
is-
Are you?
Flygon's not bad at all.
Yeah, I think it's terrible. That's my opinion.
There's this thing called a choice scarf.
Yeah.
And EVs and IVs.
So
Have you ever fought a scarf Flygon? It's kind of difficult to deal with.
I think it's terrible, but I don't think he's got worse
You're
on his
stupid.
team. But I don't think I answered that question right, to be honest. But it's like I was saying, a lot of people in this draft have really good teams. So I mean, it's hard to kind of make them better. I mean, if you did say or to make them worse, so I'd probably take Victini off Ipa's team. That's a definite. Don't want that choice band Victini running
a
around.
little bit. Because in my opinion, having Victini and Jirachi just breaks his synergy completely. I mean, they're both really
guess.
good mons, but they're really good mons on their own accord, not together.
Yeah, but it is draft, so I mean, he doesn't have to bring them both.
I know. I know this, but the thing is, it's just like you're gonna have to choose one or the other. But I don't see why you draft two steel types right next to each other and break your synergy, not one way but two ways by drafting two of the Pixie-mons.
I mean, Ipa is not a bad battler by any means, so he's probably got plans. He did say that he'd probably, you know, change a few. I think he said he'd change a few Pokemon if he could. But I mean, I think Ipa's a great battler. So I mean, if he's got plans, it probably works. Obviously, I probably agree with you that Victini and Jirachi together. In fact, he drafted Fortress right after Jirachi, which doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I'm like, first you draft two Pixie-mons, which breaks synergy because you never do that because it's a sin against Arceus himself. And then
Yeah.
you draft another steel type, which is a sin in of its own. So you just broke you broke synergy twice, and you just double sinned. So I don't know. Guess we'll have
see.
to
It'll all play out.
I guess we'll have to figure that out when we get to that interview. But that's pretty much wrapping up this interview. We got a little bit off track a few times, but it's okay. It happens here and there. And I hope you guys are excited as we are to start the season. So if you guys are excited to start the season, I think it starts on the 23rd. Is that correct? That's what I heard.
I think it's between a certain week.
Okay.
I think
Well,
it's between.
it'll start sometime soon. So if you guys are excited for it, please hit that like button, show your support. Or if you don't, if you're not excited, or you just didn't like this interview, you can just hit that dislike button. I think that's the right orientation
Wow,
with my hands,
wow.
but I don't know. Just any way you guys can show us what you think. Or if you just don't like Dench, just hit the dislike button.
Whoa! Also, check out my rap. Check out my rap tag.
Yo,
real quick.
your tab was awesome.
Mine was brilliant.
It was awesome. I liked it a lot. Anyways, that'll be that. So, we're excited to start the season, and we will see you, MPL fans, later.
Adios.
Bye.